All right, so welcome back. So in the first episode, we explored what meta values actually are. And in the second, we talked about experiential values, the ways you like to experience your meta values in day-to-day life. And today, we're weaving it all together and going deeper into something people really feel, but don't always have the language for. And that is how your values move between you and other people, how they show up in your body, and how to start living from a place that feels congruent, grounded, and deeply you. So let's ease our way in. Let's talk about how values show up in the body. And one thing I've seen again and again is that values aren't abstract ideas, they're felt. When your meta values are honored, your body softens, the jaw loosens, the breath deepens, things feel lighter. And when violated, you feel that tightening, the shoulders creep up, the breath shortens, you start overthinking, or you withdraw. You might even flip into that hyper-managing, over-planning part of you. Your body is often speaking before your mind catches up. So here's a quick practice for you. Think of a moment when your values were totally honored. Where does that feeling sit? In your chest, stomach, face? Just notice. Then think of a moment when they weren't. Notice the shift. That's your compass. Your meta values talk through your physiology long before the rational mind tries to make sense of it. Now let's get into something really human, and that is projection. Now we all do it, and it's not a flaw. It's just one of the ways our nervous system tries to navigate the world. So projection is when your meta values spill outwards and you unconsciously expect someone else to operate by them. Now here's a simple example. If one of your meta values is responsibility and someone misses a deadline, your whole system might light up like a Christmas tree. Not because they're actually disrespected you, but because your value system is activated. So here's a story. Someone once told me, I get genuinely hurt when my friend forgets to message me, and it feels like they don't value me. But when we unpacked it, their meta value was connection. Texting back immediately was their way of honoring that value. And their friend? Their top meta value was presence, which for them meant less time on their phone, not more. So two different worlds. One behavior, completely different meanings. So projection is simply forgetting that another person's meta values may not match ours. And as you hear this, you might begin to notice where you do this too. Where you assume, where you expect, where you read meaning into something neutral. Just gently catch it. That's all. And by the way, as you're listening to this today, you might start to notice certain values lighting up for you. If that happens, or if you want to go a little deeper, I've put together a simple meta values starter kit. And it's completely free. It gives you a way to map the values that are already shaping your life, so you can start seeing your patterns with a bit more clarity. And I'll share more about that at the end. Now, here's the thing. The opposite of projection happens too, and that is injection. So injection is when someone else's values slip inside your system. You pick them up without even noticing. So a classic one could be growing up in a family that values achievement. You might end up constantly chasing success, promotions, status, even if your real value is freedom or creativity or even play. It's like walking around with a bucket full of other people's values. Some of those values help you, they guide you, support you, and some of them feel like carrying bricks, and sometimes you've been carrying them for so long that it feels normal. So a quick check-in for you. Think of something you chase or stress about or pressure yourself with. Now ask yourself, did this come from me or did I inherit it? It's amazing what shifts when you begin to let go of what was never yours to carry. Now let's take a look at the bigger picture, and that is social values. Because it's not just individuals. We're shaped by the groups around us, workplaces, culture, communities. So you might have learned that it's good to be constantly productive. It's noble to sacrifice yourself. It's unsafe to take up space. Or it's admirable to stay busy. Now, these are social values, and they're the rules of belonging. And here's the interesting thing. We often confuse social values with our own values. So imagine a tree that bends naturally towards the sunlight. That's your meta values. They're guiding you. But if someone stands beside the tree holding a torch, the tree might bend towards the torch instead. Now, the tree isn't wrong. It's just responding to a false light. Now, integration is when you turn the torch off and let the sun be the sun again. And that's the heart of this work. So how do we actually integrate all of this? So here's where the structure comes in. Simple, practical, usable steps that you can take today. So step 1 is notice the body first, because the body tells the truth before the mind does. And you can ask yourself the simple question, did I feel open or do I feel tight? So step 2 is identify which meta value is being activated. And ask yourself, am I honoring it? Is someone else violating it? Or have I stepped away from it? And step 3 is to ask yourself the magic question, is this mine? Is this expectation coming from my own values or from someone else's? And that's how you catch both the projection and the injection. And step 4, choose an experiential expression. So if your meta value is freedom, ask yourself, what small act gives you freedom today? If it's connection, what's one real moment of presence you can create today? And if it's growth, what's one edge that you can stretch and lean into right now? So this reconnects you with your daily alignment. And step 5, simply let your system soften. Just let yourself gently ease back into your own center and allow what matters to come forward in its own time. Because integration isn't forced, it's allowed. So let's bring this together. Now, the more you understand your meta values, the more life starts making sense. And the more you start noticing projection, the more compassion you have for yourself and for others. And the more you catch injection, the more energy you reclaim for yourself. The more you tune into the body, the more honest the feedback becomes. And the more you integrate your experiential expressions, the more aligned your days feel. Your meta values are the roots. Your experiential values are the branches. And you're the whole tree. And you can, if you choose, allow yourself to grow in the direction you were always meant to grow. Because when your values guide you, life doesn't get easier, but it does get clearer. And that clarity brings a completely different quality of experience. So before we wrap up, I want to give you something that will help you take this work a step deeper and actually make it real in your day-to-day life. So I've created a free Meta Values starter kit. It's a simple, powerful little tool that helps you uncover the values that are already steering your life, your decisions, your energy, and your relationships, and even the parts of you that get activated. And if you've been listening today and thinking, yep, that's me, or you're realizing you've been carrying other people's values without noticing, you can download the kit. It'll help you map out the values that truly matter to you, not the ones you think you should have, not the ones you inherited, but the ones your behavior has been whispering and demonstrating all along. So it takes about 10 minutes, and people tell me it brings a kind of clarity that feels like coming home to yourself. And I'll drop the link in the show notes for you. So grab it, play with it, and see what opens up for you. And as always, if this episode landed for you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. We all deserve to feel more aligned with who we really are. Thank you for being here today. And remember, this is inner work for people who want to grow without losing themselves. and you're exactly where you need to be right now.